in 1987.
A question about when you were first learning push hands. You mentioned in one of your books that you were doing push hands, and then all of a sudden one day your partner,
I slammed him. He threw him in a puddle of water. Yeah,
and it came as a surprise to you.
It was a surprise to him and me.
Before you were actively doing microcosmic orbit, or was this?
Yes, it was.
Before microcosmic.
It was before. I didn't learn microcosmic orbit until 1978.
So was this a result of?
I was doing something like microcosmic orbit, but it was non-structured.
So you already felt chi flow at
Oh, I was almost ready to finish my training.
Was this after you?
This was in 77 when I threw that guy in a puddle of water.
Was this before or after you woke up the fireworks up and down?
Same time.
Around the same time?
Around the same time. So the first time I threw, and he was my senior. In theory, he was better than me.
Right.
But he wasn't, because he didn't work out 6 to 10 hours a day. He worked out his 3 or 4 hours a week. So I remember something happened, and he went flying. He landed on the back of his head in about 6 inches of rainwater.
But it wasn't something conscious you did.
Well, I didn't like him, but my intention, I didn't have the specific intention to slam him into the ground.
Right.
But somehow it happened anyway, because I didn't like him. He was like pushing me around, and he came up to me once when I was a very beginner and said, "You only go low when I'm watching." I said, "What?"
So you were stand when you were doing that?
Yeah, so I got him. I was better than him. I was better than all of them.
Right.
Because I worked out 10. You can't compare somebody who practices 6 to 10 hours a day to someone who does 3 hours a week. And in 77, I had a consultation with Master Leon, and I asked him, what is my level equivalent to? And he said, right now you're in your 3rd year, and you're equivalent to a 15 to 20 year Tai Chi student.
Because of your persistence?
Well, yeah, because that's all I did was practice 4 times a day.
Right. And actually, in your book, you also mentioned that you would practice, you'd warm up, and then you would rest, and you would cool down.
I practiced, as soon as I started to cool down, I practiced.
You would practice again.
So 10 years.
By cooling down, do you mean physically in the muscles, or cooling down as in you would feel the chi flow starting to...
I mean, the excitement of the practice was starting to... I started to feel normal again.
You would get a little
practice again.
Sleepy, and then you would wind up...
I practiced again. I was practicing 3 and 4 times a day. I was putting in 6 to 10 hours a day. I wasn't doing 10 hours every day, but I was at least doing 6 hours every day.
Can I ask you a question about squeezing
muscles
while you practice Tai Chi?
Absolutely.
I've heard that Master Huang, I think a student of Chen Manchu.
Yeah, Huang is dead.
Yeah, he's dead. So he was, I think I read a quote that he was saying you hold your sphincter contracted up the entire time as you practice.
I don't care what these guys say. If you practice my Qigong and Neigong,
right,
you're squeezing your sphincter muscle on every inhale naturally.
Just anyway. Right. And then as you do the Tai Chi, would you continue that throughout the Tai Chi?
It's a continuation, but it's not a detail in Tai Chi. It's a side effect.
It's like if you practice so much, it'll happen naturally.
Yeah, your body's going to automatically. In fact, when I learned water aerobic press and push, which in my Neigong program is green, I learned that in like 1976.
Right.
It was called Tai Chi Connective Meditations, which is what I call it. So, that's the first. I learned that before I learned condensed breathing. If you want more of this, email me and request it. This is the end of part 2.